You are back in the ICC on Sunday the 13th of October because you're introducing This Sporting Life, which was the first explosion of the career of the great actor, great Irish actor, Richard Harris. You went on to work with him in the field later on.
In order to try and maintain some control, we did a scene where Richard did the scene. I didn't like it, and he went nuts, and I said to him I'd redo the scene on the last day in Ardmore Studios in Dublin. And that was a kind of unconscious way of me controlling the shoot. And I made him agree to that. And because I was willing to go down the line of being fired. So anyway, we got to the Ardmore after we finished, and he watched the scene, and he said it's the best performance he ever gave, and he's not fucking doing it again. I took the metaphor of the field to represent Ireland and the necessity for the possession of land by small tenants, you know.
God made the world, and seaweed made that field. And your sons will take care of it, boy.
I want to sell the field.
Bull McCabe's field?
He rents it.
'Twas bare rock when he got it, ma'am.
It will be sold by public auction.
Yes, who would insult me by bidding for my field?
There might be outsiders, but...
Outsiders? Are these the same outsiders who drove us to the coffin ships and scattered us to the four corners of the earth? No outsider will bid for my field.
60 pounds? 65 pounds.
It's the widow's field. She has the right to sell it.
There's limestone down there, and there's enough limestone up there to build highways all over Ireland.
Those hands, do you see those hands? I dug the rocks out of it with my bare hands and I made a living thing. Don't you understand? An outsider has come to bury my sweat and my blood in concrete. We all know how to deal with robbers.
Outside! You're the bull, you're the bull, you're the bull!
Be a good Yank, turn around and never set foot here again.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Where are you going, Bo?
To the edge of the world.
Go back! Go back!
Your father's gone mad. Look at yourself, will you? Look at yourself!
It's the same dilemma as Native American Indians. They never had possession of the land. And because the Irish guy is renting the land and he's improved it, he thinks he owns it. And people don't get that. They're so capitalist, so property-oriented, that they don't get the communal thing, you know? It was amazing to work with Harris. It was mad, you know? Like, very different to Daniel Day, who came back acting today. Did you see that?
Yeah. We did see that, yeah.
He's doing it with Ronan, his son.
That's right.
Which is good news. I hope he enjoys it.
Yeah.
Because you, of course, were there at the beginning of Daniel's career.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a kind of... People think that, and because he was nominated for an Academy Award and won for My Left Foot, they think kind of, oh, Jim made him, and it's kind of the other way around. Mm-hmm. Daniel was a pretty well-known actor who I saw on screen and thought, can I get that guy? And he was so un-Irish up to that. He was like upper-class British.
Yeah.
But his father was an Irish poet laureate of England, actually.
You mean I didn't have to get killed for it?
This is a man, and what a man. A man of violent contrasts. A man greater than ordinary men in his strength and in his love. Richard Harris, in a performance you will never forget.
We must go back to This Sporting Life for a moment because you're going to introduce it on the 13th of October.
Yeah.
Why should people come to the ICC on a Sunday afternoon to see that movie?
It's a fabulous movie, and I suppose because I'll be able to recount, you know, Richard's life and give you a bigger insight into the movie, into Anderson, who was a very good director, and had another Irish actor, Frank Grimes.
Frank Grimes, yeah.
Who he kind of brought to some fame.
That's right. I mean, they worked really well together. Frank lives up the road, by the way. He's a great friend of mine, yeah.
God, I haven't seen him for... Yeah. I played the part of being after Frank.
Right.
Fortunately, yeah.
Great.
And will you be dishing the dirt? Will there be some gossip?
Oh, there'll be a lot of gossip. You know, if you come, you'll get the inside story on Richard, including his stay in the hotel near here, Holland Park.
Oh, yeah.
His wife used to run it.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's right.
My daughter got her eyes done, Tess, and she could suddenly see, and she went through Heathrow or one of them and said to me, Dad, don't keep getting me everything that's in duty free.
Right, yeah.
So I said to her, well, what do you want? And she said, I'd like those little jams. You know the jams you get with a croissant? So I was like, that's what you want? Yeah. So when I was with Harris in the hotel, I said to him, oh, I have to get a croissant, Richard, and I have to get to the airport. And you know, Shepherd's Bush is probably the most accessible to Heathrow. So up came the fella with the croissant and the jam, and I left the jams there and went to the loom. When I came out, there was no jams, but the taxi was ready. So I said to Richard, where's the effing jams? Did your man come back up? And he's just looking at me. I said, like, where am I going to get the jams? And he reached down, and from under the bed, he pulled out a bag about 3 feet long and 2 foot high with about 9,000 jams in it.
Oh, right, God.
He was hoarding all the jams in the Halcyon Hotel.
Wow.
And that's what he was like. He was compulsive and crazy on every level.
If you want to hear more tales like that, you need to be at the ICC on Sunday, October the 13th. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you so much.
It's
it was
brilliant.
a pleasure.
And here is a
Thank you.
little
Thanks,
bit
Jim.
from...
Brilliant to have you here.
Here's a little bit from This Sporting Life.
He loved a good time, and yet he turned his back on it for a ruthless, overwhelming love.
No, you want to crush me, but I won't let you, because I'm the one thing you can't have like everything else. I want you. I want you to go. I need you. I want you to go. I want you to go. I want you to go.
Rachel Roberts as Margaret Hammond. Savagely embittered by life, she returned his love with a burning, passionate hate.
They all laugh at you. They all point you out. Don't you know that? Trying to be different. And they point me out too, Andy and Linda. We're not proper people now because of you.
No other film has ever brought life to the screen with such brutal honesty. This Sporting Life brings you face to face with people. It compels you to love. It forces you to hate. It takes you to the very center of a man's passion and a woman's heart.